Government workers and media personnel started casting their votes today ahead of the May 9 elections via local absentee voting. The WHO's COVAX facility is set to replace over 3 million COVID-19 vaccine doses that have expired in the Philippines. And a new Omicron subvariant case has been detected in the country. The patient is a foreign national who traveled to Baguio City. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Local absentee voting for eligible media and government personnel kicked off today. Greg Gregorio with the report.
Some media workers lined up at the COMELEC NCR office as early as 7 in the morning today. Around 950 media workers have been approved for the local absentee voting, which started Wednesday and will last until Friday. 815 of these workers are from Metro Manila. Among those who lined up early is News 5 correspondent Gerard de la Peña, a first-time voter under the LAV scheme.
Sobrang importante nito para sa akin kasi syempre malaki yung at stake ngayon sa bayan natin. So as a reporter, kailangan, as a journalist, kailangan may contribution tayo bukod sa pagbabalita natin.
Aside from the media, among those eligible for local absentee voting are some government employees, like the police and armed forces of the Philippines. More than 84,000 voters from these sectors have been approved for LAV. All of them have separate LAV polling centers. For example, personnel from the Manila Police District will cast their votes at their station, while members of the Philippine Army are voting at the Camp Aguinaldo. COMELEC officials like Commissioner Amy Neri and Chairman Saidam and Pangrungan have also voted at the session hall of the COMELEC main office. Before being able to vote, a local absentee voter must present an ID to verify his name in the list. Then, the voter will receive a manual ballot, security envelopes, and security seals. At the voting table, they will also have ballot secrecy folders with the list of candidates. After voting, thumb marks will be attached on the ballot before placing it inside security envelopes, after which it will be kept in a ballot box. COMELEC is asking local absentee voters to write legibly to make vote counting easier. The commission also explained why an indelible ink is not used for local absentee voters.
Dito naman, if you will double vote, definitely you cannot, because we'll only have is one master list of your company na nag-apply dito.
Local absentee voting will run until Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Local absentee voters who cannot vote until Friday can no longer do so on May 9. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Retired COMELEC Commissioner Rowena Guanzon is defending her former colleagues against allegations of election fraud. On One News's agenda, Guanzon assured the public that none of the commissioners condone cheating. Guanzon also vouched for COMELEC Commissioner Ray Bulay, who recently went under fire for issuing a warning against those who will attempt to undermine the election process.
Napupuno na rin ang mga tao dyan, pero maniwala kayo sa akin, hindi sila mandadaya. Pati na itong mga bagong komisyoner, hindi yan mandadaya. Kuminahon po kayo. Ang COMELEC po, ginagawa ang lahat.
Guanzon also slammed the camp of presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos for supposedly mind conditioning their supporters of possible election fraud.
Dadayain daw sila. So, ibig sabi niya, kung ngayon ang eleksyon, mananalo ako, pero dahil dadayain ako, matatalo ako, kaya kailangan humanda kayo. Mga Pilipino naman hindi naman ganun kabobo. Di ba ang vote counting machine, accuracy niyan, sabi ng PPCRB, 99.98 something% in the last 2 elections. Paano kayo madadaya dyan?
And officials of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos are facing complaints for allegedly violating election laws. These complaints were lodged against newly appointed NCMF Secretary Giling Mamundyong. as well as 2 other officials. The complaint states that Mamundyong allegedly created positions within the commission and started appointing several personnel. He also allegedly replaced incumbent heads of offices without seeking the required exemption from the poll body. The COMELEC is now investigating these complaints. One News Now is going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. The MMDA warns bus operators of possible arrest if they continue to operate from their private terminals outside of the prescribed window hours. Shyla Francisco with the report.
Greg, who came from Laguna, was surprised that their bus went straight to Araneta City bus station when he was supposed to be dropped off along EDSA Cubao. Recall that bus operators can only use their private terminals within the window hours of 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Beyond these hours, buses will have to make their stops at designated terminal exchanges. Problem is, there are no direct trips at the Araneta City bus station that would take him to Bulacan.
Wala raw biyahe ditong Baliwag. Ang biyahe doon ng Baliwag sa Baliwag Transit, mamaya po alas 10 hanggang alas 5 ng madaling araw. Ay mahirap naman maghintay rito ng ganong oras. Balak namin mag-taxi na lang eh. Puntang sakay ng Baliwag.
Buses in Araneta currently only ply routes heading to and from Pampanga, Tarlac, Pangasinan, Batangas, Laguna, and Quezon. This as some bus companies still prefer using their own private terminals. In fact, several bus lines were still coming in and out of their terminals outside the window hours. The MMDA warns that they will not think twice about apprehending them.
Pwede naman po silang bumiyahe papunta ng Cubao Integrated Terminal. Ayaw po nila at sila mismo po ang umaamin na ayaw nilang mag-apply dahil daw po may hinihiling requirement.
So far, the Araneta City bus station said that only one bus line has coordinated with them to operate at the terminal. The station is not yet certain if they can accommodate more provincial buses.
Maybe for now, kasi temporary dito tayo sa old terminal, then we can accommodate them. So as soon as datingan naman yung iba pa, well, maybe we could open already the busport. Well, that depends, kasi mahirap naman sabihin yes. So we all depend on the number of routes and the number of schedules na kanilang itataya rito so that we could determine.
The LTFRB says it is planning to add more routes for long-haul provincial buses. They will also add units heading to and from the regions of Ilocos, Cagayan Valley, and Central Luzon. Shyla Francisco, we are One News.
In other news, the MTRCB has canceled the screening of Sony's action movie Uncharted in Philippine cinemas. The Ratings Board's move is in response to a request from the Foreign Affairs Department. The DFA cited a scene from the film showing China's 9-line claim over the South China Sea. The agency insists this runs counter to the 2016 arbitral ruling favoring the Philippines. Columbia Pictures has since complied with the order to pull out the movie from Philippine theaters. Let's take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Philippines has detected its first case of the Omicron BA.2.12 sublineage in a foreign national who traveled to Baguio City from Finland. The patient has already recovered and has left the country. The DOH says 9 of the patient's close contacts have been identified and are asymptomatic. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says this subvariant accounts for 1 in 5 new COVID cases in the United States. The World Health Organization's COVAX facility will replace over 3 million expired COVID-19 vaccine doses in the Philippines. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III says the replacement of the vaccines comes at no additional cost. And the management of the MRT-3 is extending their free ride program until the end of May. Passengers can ride the MRT-3 for free from 4:40 in the morning to 10:10 in the evening. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.